Admit it, you are walking on thin ice, and the sound of cracking is audible everywhere except on your television. The first and most fatal mistake the middle class is making in 2026 is blind faith in the stability of a single source of income. If your life depends on a Friday paycheck, you are not a free person, you are a tenant of your own liberty. In an era of at-will employment and AI optimization, corporations feel zero loyalty toward you. Your loyalty to a company is your personal financial suicide. When an algorithm decides your position is no longer profitable for a quarterly report, your 401k and health insurance will vanish in a split second, leaving you alone with your mortgage and debts. You must stop selling your time for a fixed rate and start creating multiple resource streams that don't depend on your boss's signature. In a world where the rules change every 24 hours, relying on one salary is like jumping out of a plane with an umbrella instead of a parachute. The second mistake is keeping your capital in digital hallucinations and devaluing paper. You look at the balance in your banking app and feel safe, but those numbers are merely a permission slip from the system for your existence, which can be revoked at any moment. In 2026, liquidity is a myth. The real collapse of the dollar and the implementation of CBDCs will turn your savings into digital food stamps with an expiration date and social conditions. Those who keep their capital exclusively in banks will find that FDIC insurance is just fire-starting material when a systemic liquidity crisis hits everyone at once. You are obligated to diversify into what has intrinsic value: physical metals, land, and decentralized assets. True wealth is not what's written on a statement, but what you can physically control when the bank terminal shows a connection error. The third mistake nailing the final lid on your future's coffin is lifestyle creep and debt loading for status. You buy a house in the suburbs to impress neighbors and lease an SUV for $900 a month, turning yourself into the perfect battery for the financial system. Every new loan is a new coil of barbed wire on your cage. You work 10 months out of the year just to pay bank interest, insurance, and taxes that, in Texas or Florida, are rising faster than your income. You call it the American dream, but in reality, it is lifelong slavery in a beautiful package. Your thirst for instant gratification and fear of appearing unsuccessful make you predictable and manageable. True sovereignty begins with minimal liabilities and maximal mobility, not with the square footage of a lawn you don't even truly own. The fourth mistake is delegating responsibility for your future to institutional experts. You trust BlackRock, Vanguard, and state funds to manage your retirement, hoping they will protect your interests. But the reality is, in the event of a massive ballast dump, they will save themselves, not you. These giants have already calculated your failure and are ready to seize your assets for pennies when the mortgage and tech stock bubble finally pops. Believing that a system designed to drain liquidity will suddenly show you compassion is the height of naivety. You must become your own analyst. Study cycles, understand the mechanics of devaluation, and don't wait for the evening news anchor to tell you that all is lost. By the time the crowd finds out, the door to safety will already be slammed shut. The fifth and most dangerous mistake is a lack of physical autonomy and attachment to a single location. You are anchored to your home, job, and a city with a dying economy because you fear losing comfort. But in the conditions of the 2026 Great Reset, mobility is your primary advantage. If your capital doesn't allow you to pack a suitcase in an hour and leave for where there is energy, food, and safety, you are a hostage. A lack of survival skills and dependence on state infrastructure make you vulnerable to any tyranny. You must invest in your ability to be independent of the grid. Own resources that people need in bartering conditions: skills, tools, and energy. Stop being the best cog in a machine that is about to chew you up. The time to choose between a beautiful facade and real independence is running out, and this year will not spare those who chose to remain in a financial coma.